of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. And I never been down with no OPP. I talking about selling our people's property. Don't know who doing it, so don't round me out. Don't send no police round me and tell me shush my mouth. Where's our conviction? But where's our pride? We selling everything, selling our backside. Just go online, it'll make you sick. You can buy any island, just point and click. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. Hey, hey. Ride him. My mother always say, when you find a donkey, ride it. Who's the donkey? Man, come on. We got a whole nation in 73. Now we getting back the whole country. What kind of fools we must be, selling out for a bag of rice and a cup of tea. You know what does bug me? Help me understand. I can't find piece of property for under 80 grand. But I can fix this, I know what to do. I can squat just like them other people try make me do. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. I get everybody sell some every night. They're selling one island, we and they won't keep. What can be left for you and me? Is this the example? What's our kids to do? You want them have a sense of pride, or go selling too? Cause they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling our whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes man. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha.
Whoa, girls, we outdoing.
The information you're looking at came from the leader of the Coalition of Independence, Mr. Lincoln Bain. So far, all the documents placed online from this individual is deemed to be credible. All the trolls and party supporters saying he lie, but they are not showing no one where he is lying. Listen to the computer animated voice and view the documents.
The PLP released a statement to the Bahamian people that was filled with lies. These documents show that the government lied when it said that there was no report and nothing was entered in the system about the arrest of this illegal Haitian immigrant. This document is the report that was written and entered into the system on the day of his arrest. 2 days after his arrest, he somehow applied for a work permit while incarcerated at the detention center. On the 16th, he was deported to Haiti and placed on the restricted list. The next day, Keith Bell overturned everything and unlawfully issued the illegal a work permit. Keith Bell must be fired immediately. The PLP is a corrupt organization.
Was landed for 90 days, so they was allowed to be in the country for 90 days. He received extensions until the 20th of January 2020, and was arrested on the 11th, 2 years later, 11th of October 2022, right? So 2 years later, he was arrested for overstaying. So he came on the visa, he overstayed, and then he was arrested, and then he was deported on the 16th of October 2022. Now, y'all stay with me now. She also said, Brennan, who wrote this, also said the work permit, the WP, was approved on the 17th. So they was deported on the 16th. The work permit was approved on the 17th of October 2022 by the minister. Y'all see it? By Keith Bell. This the report.
This is ZNS TV 13, Bahamas. Opening its transmission for today. ZNS TV is operated by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas and transmits in full color. The station is located at 3rd Terrace East, Centerville, Nassau, and the transmitter tower located at Harold Pond. Our programming is designed to inform, to educate, and to entertain. We invite you to join us.
Good afternoon, my fellow Bahamians. Thank you for joining us on this night. It is always a wonderful pleasure to have you with us and to spend my evening with you, educating the Bahamian people, informing the Bahamian people about what is really going on, teaching you how to research for yourself, and giving us the transparency that we need. We don't have a Freedom of Information Act, so we got to give it to ourselves. So thank you for joining. You know what to do when you get on here. Tag someone, share, and make sure the message gets out, because you know what's going on. They're trying to suppress the message, but they can't do it. The message of the New Bahamas is spreading from Bahamian to Bahamian, from mouth to mouth. And this is a groundswell like they've never, ever seen before. And so thank you for all of your support, and thank you for wherever you're tuned in from watching this. I'm going to get straight to this, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you share this and make sure your friends and family are on here, because there's some stuff we got to see tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get straight to it. I'm going to start with Keith Bell, and then I'm going to get to Leon Lundy. And then I'm going to open the phone lines, and we're going to discuss some other things. All right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, after all this controversy, after all the information that we have revealed to the Bahamian people, Keith Bell continues his, what we're going to call his crime spree. We call it a crime spree because we believe that his actions are unlawful. That's our opinion of it. Ladies and gentlemen, you would remember that we released the audio of Keith Bell at the funeral where he was giving away citizenship unlawfully. This opened an entire can of worms where the immigration department started contacting us and sending information to us because they are disturbed at what is happening at the Ministry of Immigration. They feel that citizenships are being sold like candy and that the minister is himself being involved in the day-to-day operations, which is against the law. And he is pressuring persons to do stuff that is unlawful in their opinion and that shouldn't be done. And that he shouldn't be involved with this. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we did everything we could. We saw that the opposition jumped on board, not to fight against immigration, because the opposition is not going to fight against our immigration issues because Pintard is an acolyte of Fred Smith. But they came on board as an opportunity to attack Keith Bell. And so that's the opposition has been attacking Keith Bell. And we are glad that others joined on board in order to assist with this effort. We were glad that that happened. But of course, we want them to assist us in protecting our borders and protecting our sovereignty. But we don't expect them to, but I had to say that anyway. Of course, we all joined in. Protests started to happen. We went and made demands at the Prime Minister's office. We filed for Commission of Inquiry. And of course, some questions were asked in the House of Assembly. Boom. The House of Assembly was prorogued. And you would think that since the House of Assembly is prorogued, that everything now goes go slow. No. Keith Bell is continuing his onslaught on the Bahamian sovereignty. He is continuing to issue out citizenships and permanent residencies to Haitian nationals and others, but mostly Haitian nationals, like it's candy. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to release some more documents, some recent documents that again flew into our trash can. Okay? And so somehow these documents flew into our trash can. And we think that in the public interest that we should release these documents. Had we had a Freedom of Information Act, we would have been able to get these documents easily. But these documents show that Keith Bell is still doing the damage. The problem Keith Bell is having is that he doesn't know who to trust at the immigration department. And so now he is doing a lot of the stuff himself. He is taking it on his own. So instead of slowing down and stopping, because he has the entire government behind him, backing him up and supporting what he is doing, because the PLP is a criminal organization, instead of them saying, you know what, we need to hold off for a while. No, so much money is being made, they don't care what y'all think. They are going into overdrive, and they're trying to make more money just in case y'all catch sense and decide to vote them out. And so they've gone into overdrive, but Keith Bell can't trust anyone. And so now it seems that he is doing a lot of the stuff on his own. And so Keith Bell did something that other ministers didn't do, and that was swear in persons by himself. And now, of course, we heard Shane Gibson lie and say that he swore in persons too. We don't trust you, Shane Gibson, especially when it comes to immigration matters. We remember what happened with Anna Nicole Smith. Okay? We remember the Rolex watch. We remember. But there's something else that he's now doing, and that is he isn't sending anyone for the documents or letting them fill out the forms, because it looks like people are starting to refuse to do stuff for him. He's doing it himself. Ladies and gentlemen, first I'm going to show you a document, and then I'm going to let you hear an audio that was more sickening to me than the first audio that went out at the funeral, and the second audio that went out that we released that was when he called the deputy director of immigration to lie and or not lie that Chester Cooper, uh, was sending orders to release the 65 Chinese nationals. That was sickening. That was illegal, and that seemed to us to be criminal activity. It's interfering with and lying to actual immigration officials. In any other country, he would have been not just fired or forced to step down, he would have been arrested. But of course, this is the Bahamas, and the PLP is in power. And they feel that, well, they're in power, no one is going to stop them. And if they're removed from power, then they'll just give it to the FNM. And the FNM won't do a thing. They'll have some pretend arrests where no one is going to be convicted. But nothing will happen. And so the darkness is continued. Now, there's another audio out there. We didn't release this one. That is the sickest of them all to me. I'll get to that after this. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, you see me looking up because I'm looking at, we have a big screen up here that I'm operating from. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to show you is from deep within the Department of Immigration. So apparently, in order for Keith Bell to process these applications, and remember, it's the Department of Immigration that is supposed to process these applications, not Keith Bell. All right? They're supposed to do it. He just comes in at the end, like the Governor General, to just sign on. All right? After everything has been done. That's his job. All right? His job is policy and signing on afterwards. All right? So the Governor General isn't to go in the House of Assembly and tell people what to do and give orders and say, put this here, move that there. No. He waits until it goes to the House, it goes to the Senate, and it comes to him, and he must sign. That's the same process. But Keith Bell is doing it on his own. What you are seeing here, what you're about to see, is Keith Bell with requisition forms for the files of these immigrants. He is sending to the warehouse where they keep the files of the immigrants so that he can get the files so that he can process them. Him, not someone in immigration. He is sending for it himself, and he is doing this himself. Keith Bell don't trust no one anymore. He has very few people he can trust. And so watch this. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is the form, all right? This is the information here. And so you can see this is Bahamas Immigration Department requisition of files. So this is the request of files for these persons. You can see this Jean person, this Jerome person. You can see the last names: Duvote, Anai, Pierre, Francois, Fortuna, and Velmer. So, and the H shows in their file number shows that they are the Haitian nationals. But I'll show you another document where you can see that. All right. And you can see name of the person requesting the files is who? Minister K. Bell. You see it? Minister K. Bell. Reason for request? Processing of applications. And it's signed by the unit supervisor. Look at the date. 5 days ago. The 17th of August, 2023. The 17th of August, 2023. 5 days ago. So after all this mess, all that is going on, all the rumors are going to be a shuffle. On last week, Thursday, Keith Bell was requesting documents. on last week Thursday. You see that? So let me show you another one. That's one. This is another one. So they fill it out more. So you can see the names. Cedilia Blank, Justin Pierre, Paid. And on the right, you can see that all of these are Haitians. And they had an Indian one there. And they scratched it out. No, we didn't want to see you. You was Indian. And you can see it's ticked off that they found it. And they, I guess, sent it to him. But the one who was Indian, they crossed it off. No, Indians. We're dealing with Haitians right now. See, that's a recent document. Yes, it is. That's last Thursday. All right. So you can see all the names. Next to this is Haitian. And you can see the same thing. Name of person requesting file, Minister K. Bell. Reason for request, processing of applications. Signed by the unit supervisor, 17th of August, 2023. All right. And so that's another document. And there's another one. Renault, and again, these are Haitians, and one Jamaican, and one Indian here. All right. So Renault versus, you can see them, and again, you can see at the bottom, K. Bell, processing of applications. All right. Now let me show you how much people this in one day. This in one day. Let me show you how much files Keith Bell sent for. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, count with me. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Don't count the Indian one. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's 21 files. And it was actually more. This is just all I'm showing you right now. 21 files. This, I don't even know what to call him. This man who needs to go requested so that he could run their applications. And so I inquired with leadership at immigration. I said, is this normal for the minister to request files for the process? He was like, nope, that's our job. So why is he doing it himself? I asked. I guess he don't trust nobody. Bahamas, your nation and your sovereignty is being sold from under you. There is a desperate attempt by the Progressive Liberal Party to make as much money as they can right now selling out. Y'all had better wake up. This requisition form is going to be shared. And there's more. All of these came from thick files. Keith Bell is in overdrive, and they're trying to make as much money as they can while they can. Bahamas, y'all better wake up. And so, I heard an audio that's going around by Keith Bell. It really sickened me. After all that has been exposed, Keith Bell had the gall to get God in this, in his criminal activities. And I told you why we call it criminal. Because we believe all of this stuff is unlawful. It's ultra-virus. This is what Keith Bell had to say. Everyone else, wicked, not him.
Taught me to put on the full armor when the fiery darts of the wicked. That's right. You know, what has enjoyed me over these weeks and months. I have the full armor of God. Not afraid to take it.
Did y'all hear Apostle, Bishop, Prophetess Keith Bell? He said he puts on the full armor of God. And he said he learned this from, not from his pastor, not from his bishop, not from his deacon, not from his apostle. He learned this from Perry Gladstone Christie. To put on the full armor of God. Here y'all, minister.
Me. To put on the full armor of God. When the fiery darts of the wicked. That's right. You know, what has enjoyed me over these weeks and months. I have the full armor of God. Not afraid to take it.
And he's being very honest and truthful with his statement. I don't want y'all to make that much fun of him. He's being honest and truthful and genuine with his statement. But he didn't tell you which God. There are many gods. God said, don't worship any God but me. Which God is he referring to is what he needs to explain. Because that ain't the God that we reference in our Constitution that he talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Bell is still up to his evil activities, and he must be stopped. We cannot lose focus. Because while they're distracting you with all these other conversations about gayness in the schools and all this other stuff they're talking about, now they're saying the DRA files is going to the police. All of this is distractions. Everything that you're seeing they're talking about is to distract you. Don't let them distract you talking about these, the DRA, the disaster recovery is going to the police. Listen. Let's not get distracted. Let's stay focused. All those talks about the gay situation in the schools, all of that was to distract you. Let's stay focused. They're trying to sell our country out. They're trying to create a new voting bloc. I was telling you from the beginning of all of this, when some people started kicking and screaming because they heard Belinda Wilson make a statement that was her opinion. They said, oh, they're going to put it in schools. And they started wanting to have rallies and protests. No, Lincoln, you should have been there. You're evil and you're no good because you weren't there. You should have been there to fight for the children. And I'm like, but I don't see where the children are threatened. I investigate. I don't just jump. And then they heard the director of education say some things about they do definitions and whatever. And they're like, oh, they're putting it in the school and we got to go march and rally and this and that. And I'm like, I've spoken to principals. I've spoken to administrators and officials at the Ministry of Education, and I don't see that. Yeah, I saw when I heard that when book was in Wong's. When I went there, as I told you, the book wasn't there. They moved the book. The book was there, but they removed it when they heard I was coming there to check. The staff told me. But that had nothing to do with the government. And so as Glennis Anna Martin, I don't side with politicians, PRF and them. But here's her explaining, this is from the minister, this thing with the threat to the schools, that as far as I can see at this time, is not real. But just understand, at any time that becomes a threat, I will be there. But I don't jump until I investigate.
Said that we're introducing LGBT in the curriculum and that we're sneaking it in, and then we can bring the books. Nameless, faceless, anonymous person, voice. That many Bahamian people's in a frenzy. We have to query how it is that something like that should incite us to these types of extremes, unverified, unsupported, and untrue. And so I don't know who the president is, but I can't get into their legal actions. But the assertions that are made are untrue. We have a curriculum, and the curriculum is focusing on literacy, numeracy, helping our young people to be articulate, to help them have the grounding in the subject matter. We have a new history text. These are things we celebrate. The distractions and the erroneous distractions are not helpful.
So, ladies
Said
and
that we're
gentlemen,
introducing
like I
LGBT.
said, I don't just side with these people, but I always side with the truth, and I always side with what is right. All right. When this whole thing came up, I did investigations. I spoke to teachers, and all of the teachers that I spoke to were offended that anyone would even believe that they would go into a classroom and teach any lesson encouraging our Bahamian students to become transgenders or gay or anything else. Every single teacher I spoke to was offended by the assertion that they would even let the government try that nonsense. All of them said, it wouldn't be me, even if it was real. We must protect our children, but we must not fall for distractions. I made a promise to you from the beginning of all of this that I would show you political tricks. And sometimes it isn't expedient. People won't understand. But I have to show you the political tricks. That's my responsibility. And that was a distraction so that you could be distracted arguing about this thing in the school that wasn't eminent while they were putting it into law. They were putting what people are now calling the sissy bill into law. It's there. While you were talking with let's rally. Notice the people who were saying let's rally, they now know that they snuck this sissy bill into the law, but none of them saying let's rally about the law. None of them speaking out against this law that they just put in place that introduced same-sex relations. None of them talking about it. Y'all better wake up. See, now the distraction exposed. Now the minister, after they finish using that distraction, now she coming out and saying, hey, that wasn't the truth. Why she didn't say this before the rally? Because they were using this as a distraction. Why she didn't say this before now? That, like they always do, we are informed that there are persons spreading these rumors that this and that is the case and that we're adding this curriculum, that we're adding a book to our curriculum. But that is false. We're not. Why didn't she say that before now? Because they were using it as a distraction. But now the distraction is used. They've already got this law in place. They've used it to stop you from talking about certain things, like when last y'all talk about Kurt Cornish. When last y'all talk about Keith Bell. No, they had people arguing back and forth. That's the way they distract you. We got to wake up. All right. We got to wake up and take this whole thing seriously. Now, I'm going to jump from there and I'm going to go over to, and we got a lot to talk about the roof or the truss. The roof and the truss. We got to talk about Brave Davis caught up in more lies. He's the father of lies. And we should have expected that. But it's just the beginning. So we're going to talk about that too. All right. But I want to get to this Lundy character. I'm going to just quickly and smoothly go back to this for persons who may not have watched the previous live. I released some documents or re-released some documents that showed that Lundy, what Lundy was up to. Lundy, of course, is working with one of his generals, his right-hand man, Alfred Stewart. All right, Alfred Stewart. And before I get to the documents, I'm going to show you Alfred Stewart. Alfred Stewart is not just someone who lives in Andros. Alfred Stewart is the bosom buddy, the friend, the buddy, the pal the one to do the dirty work of Lundy. Lundy is the MP for South Andres, and this whole thing is taking place in South Andres, and so you got to stay focused. All right. Someone asked me, as I said on the blast to promote this live, someone asked me, who is Leon Lundy? Listen, you can take picture of almost half of the members of parliament, and most Bahamians wouldn't even know who they are. That's how insignificant they are. That's how do nothing they are. I was in the House of Assembly and I saw one fella. I was like, wow, who's that? Because they are just there. And so someone asked, who is Lundy? All right. Lundy was a member of the DNA, the Democratic National Alliance. He was actually the chairman for the Bamboo Town branch of the Democratic National Alliance, the DNA, yeah. And he was also in charge of their men's association, their men's branch. All right. He was the president of their men's branch also. Lundy went to one event. They were fighting against the power company in Grand Bahama. Lundy went there and he actually spoke. Mitchell also went there and Fred Mitchell spoke. And him and Lundy apparently got together. And he was a PLP ever since, I guess. But he got hooked up with Fred and it was over from there. All right. Lundy ran for the PLP in South Andres, got a good PLP seat. All right. And that was that. So Lundy and Alfred Stewart. All right. This is Lundy and Alfred Stewart. Don't mind the man in the middle. He has nothing to do with this. It's just a picture so I could show you Lundy and Alfred Stewart always together. This is Lundy and Alfred Stewart. The man in the middle has nothing to do with this. All right. Look at another picture. So Alfred Stewart goes everywhere. That's the one on the left of the map. That's Alfred Stewart. He goes everywhere with Lundy. So Lundy was giving out some turkeys. Remember, that's the old way. Remember the politicians used to give out turkeys and stuff? Well, this was Lundy giving out turkeys with Alfred Stewart, who does all his work. So this is his campaign general, Alfred Stewart. All right. Who does all of that for him. And so Alfred Stewart is the guy in the picture right there with Lundy giving out turkey. All right. Not only does he give out turkey with him and get dressed up with him, here he is. Lundy was doing a radio appearance and he didn't just go by himself. He went with Alfred Stewart. Alfred Stewart is there in the yellow. So you're an MP. You should be able to go and speak by yourself. Why are you going on there with a man? But of course, this man is his right-hand man, just to show you how tight him and this man is. All right? And so here is this man giving out more stuff for Alfred Stewart. Well, they're doing this together. So that's Lundy on the truck. Giving out whatever, all right? And so they are raking in whatever they're raking in, and they're giving out crumbs to make sure that they can stay in to continue to rape and rob that constituency. So just want you to see that Alfred Stewart isn't just some random person. Stewart is the front man for Mr. Lundy, all right? And so now that you get that first set of documents, where you can see that there was a company formed. The company is called Umbrella 242, all right? And it was formed on the 24th of December, 2021, right after election. All right, it's just a quick recap, all right? And so you will see, make sure, how do you see these documents? Okay. All right, you can see where this is the acknowledgement declaration, letter from Land and Surveys, where Allison Smith from Lands and Survey said, I'm directed to acknowledge receipt of your application dated the 13th December 2021. All right. And so he applied on the 13th of December 2021. So he applied before this company was formed on behalf of the company. See, Umbrella 242 Company Limited, care of Alfred Stewart. See the name? And he received a response from Ministry of Lands and Surveys in 3 days. In 3 days, they responded to him. And she said, I am directed to. So she was directed to respond to him. In 3 days, in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, where we can't get nothing done. And so that's Umbrella Co-op that we just showed you. All right. And so later they respond on the 16th of March, exactly 3 months from their response later, exactly 3 months, they responded to Umbrella Co-op, care of Alfred Stewart, and said, former Ortec base, remember that because we're going to show you some new documents that you didn't see before. Yes, from the former Ortec base, I refer to your application dated the 13th of December 2021. In respect of the above, I am advised that the government is prepared to offer you the 3 years conditional purchase lease in respect of 4.8 acres of government land shown edged out in red, etc., etc. And the the lease rate, they paid $200 per acre per year. All right? $200 per acre per year is what they were asked to pay. So that's $19,200 for 4.8 acres per year. All right? That is fantastic. He got a response in 3 days. He gets approval in 3 months. Why? Because Lundy is at Lands and Survey. Wow. All right. And then after the approval, now the full registered address. Shouldn't they have asked for that when they applied? In fact, this is on the application. The application form for Crown Land, if it's a company, you should have provided all of this. Full copy of the Articles of Memorandum of Association. Shouldn't you have gotten that when they applied? Certificate of good standing. Now you're getting it. And so we've already gone over that, so I'll leave that right there. And of course, this here is the land in question as it relates to this. I showed you some other properties last time, a key and some other stuff, because he is doing more than just this. All right, they are up to a lot of stuff. It includes the airport, the area of the airport. There's another tract down there. I think it's 10 or 14 acres that they're dealing with down there. And there's another 14-acre tract, and there's a 1,000-acre tract. You're going to see all of this where they're trying to, just take advantage of Bahamian black family, a South Andres family. I'm going to show you the documentation on all of this. These people, these actions are beyond criminal to me. It's my opinion. All right. And so this is the property they're talking about. All right. That's the map of it. All right. So this is Lundy and Alfred Stewart and all of these people. All right. That's my opinion based on what we see how they're working together. All right. So now let's start to look at some documentation. Let me show you. So Lundy and them were trying to take this property, and this also involves Norwood Reming. Of course, he's a stalwart PLP. He was one of Pinlin's generals, right-hand man. He owned the Delma L, the boat that my daddy was the captain of. He is from the Seventh-day Adventist Church down there. He has, a lot of property, et cetera, down there. He's well known. I will tell you the story before I get in there. Let me show you how powerful Norwood Ramming is. My daddy was the captain of the boat, the Delma L, and one day they saw some duffel bags floating in the water as they were going from Nassau to Andres. And my dad slowed the boat down to tell them, check the duffel bags, see what that is, make sure humans or whatever. My dad couldn't walk from upstairs downstairs. He was crippled. So when they put him upstairs with the crane, or when he crept his way up there, he would stay up there. And they hooked the bags, brought him up there, and what's in them? Just stuff, whatever. And so when they got to land, um, the first mate of the boat went straight to the police to tell the police that there was a bunch of duffel bags of cocaine on board the ship. All right. Because that's what was in the duffel bags, cocaine. And everyone was arrested. It was on the news. They were arrested. They were charged. It was really terrible for me because I remember that day driving in the car on East Street, passing my mother's takeaway, Wilhelmina's takeaway, and it came on the news. And I heard them call my dad's name on the news. He was arrested for cocaine possession, intended supply, whatever. My dad don't do foolishness. My dad don't drink, don't smoke. Now he had a short temper, but he don't do foolishness. He was a good man when it came to that stuff. All right. Don't do foolishness. And he was arrested, charged and everything. It was to be taken before the court. Norwood Reming made one call to Pinlin. Pinlin made one call to the station and told them, let them go. That was the end of that. So that's how powerful Norwood Reming was. All right. So Norwood Reming, of course, is caught up in all of this too. So just wanted to put that out there. All right. Norwood Reming is also using the land, working with Lundy them, and he's trying to work with the family too. And so there's a lot of stuff there, but I won't go into all the details with that. But you're going to see his name in these documents also. All right. So let's go. So the first document here is a letter from the lawyers of the Roll family that actually owns this 1,000-acre tract, and Lundy and them were trying to take, some deal was being made, and Lundy and them were trying to take 1,000 acres of it, according to his family, trying to take some acres of it. And they were telling them, leave our property alone. What are you doing? Get out of here. We have all the documents and papers. And I have since seen all of their papers, all of their documents is ironclad, it's perfect. But here's Lundy. So let's look at this letter. Look at the letter. So this letter is from BFLS, Bonafide Legal Services, who is the lawyer for this family. And it's to Mr. Leon Lundy, Member of Parliament for South Andres constituency, Camps Bay, South Andres. All right. So this letter is being written to Mr. Lundy, and they addressed him as the Member of Parliament for South Andres constituency. So he shouldn't be trying to do no skullduggery in his constituency. All right. Look, it says, Dear Mr. Lundy, reference to cease and desist from trespassing on or partitioning land on the Montgomery tract. The land, remember that Montgomery tract name, because the Montgomery wealthy family that was there is who transferred this land to the Roll family. They were caretakers of this land, and he transferred it to them. All right. They have deeds and everything. All right. But we'll get back to that because Ingram helped steal a portion of this land from them. Remember that name, Hubert Alexander Ingram. When it comes to land in this country, he has raped and robbed Bahamians. But we'll get back to that. The Montgomery tract, the land, South Andres, Bahamas, and from any and all properties of the estate of Mr. Cornelius Roll, deceased. All right. So this is the Lundy, Member of Parliament. Oh, and this is dated the 13th April 2022. All right. The caption refers, we represent Mr. Mark Roll, intended administrator by power of attorney for Mr. Bursell Rule in the estate of Cornelius Rule in his intended cause of action. For ease of reference, kindly note that the probate in the estate of Cornelius Rule has been filed and is lodged with the Supreme Court Probate Registry, a record of which is easily accessible for review at the court. All right, so you're letting them know, listen, this is our family stuff. Everything is filed, lodged. What are you doing? It says, our instructions are that sometime during the month of March 2022, you publicly advise that you intend to give portions of land on the Montgomery tract to named persons and a further portion of land to an additional 20 unnamed person. So the MP decide that he just goes on that land and he can take that land and just give it to who he want to give it to. I guess including Albert Jordan. But he is going to just take these people land and just, yeah, you, land for you, land for you, land for you. I taking this. I's the king. So we had a new prime minister of Abaco, and now we have a king of South Andres. All right? Because he just giving away land. And so let me continue to read this. The history of the ownership and the contentious nature of the ownership of the tract of land is well known. We advise that our clients have and continue to assert ownership of the said tract of land and have the best title in this tract of land, a claim that is stronger than any and all legal claims by the government. As an agent acting on behalf of the government, we put you to strict proof to provide the legal and or any title to the land and your authority to petition and or use the land in any manner. In the circumstances, we hereby demand that you immediately cease and desist from purporting to proportion and or convey the land in any manner and for any purpose. If you fail to immediately cease and desist with your action, we will file a complaint with the police and a civil suit against you without any further notice to you. Kind regards, Miss Darrell Taylor, Bonafide Legal Services. All right. And so this is the Member of Parliament with a letter threatening police charges. The Member of Parliament. And so there were other people caught up in this, other stuff that was going on. All right, this is a letter to Norwood Ramming from 2010. Dear sir, a pleasant good morning. Your attention is called to the land area of site number 6, which you are occupying is private land belonging to the Royal family. Be advised that whoever had given you permission was not in lawful possession to do so. Therefore, we request that you take the necessary advice. You should have a copy of your lease title, deed, or document, including a survey plot or plan, giving the area and amount of land you should be occupying, etc. This information should be presented to me or any local authority, or our local authority, Ms. Brenda Colebrook, on or before 14 days of receive this letter. Failing to do so will result in further action. Many thanks. So they were telling Norwood Ramming, listen, these people who telling you to come out of this land, they are deceiving you, right? They're misleading you, all right? So, but I want to show you who else was caught up in this. Anytime you see funny business going on in this country, one name always mixed up in it. This is a letter to Philip Brave Davis, because Philip Brave Davis then started to represent the royal family. So the present prime minister, was representing this family who knows that they own the land, and he was their lawyer. Yet Brave and Lundy them trying to take this property to do some hotel deal. Some hotel and marina deal. Brave was their lawyer. Watch this. Mr. Philip Davis, attorney at law, P.O. Box N7940, 11 Delbourne House, Victoria Avenue. Remember, that's where their law firm was? Ingram and Christie and Brave Davis. There, sir, reference to Cornelius Rule. This is the government writing to Brave Davis. All right? This is from the office of the Prime Minister. Who's the Prime Minister? Pinlin. Sorry, the office of the Attorney General. On behalf of the Prime Minister. Pinlin. All right? And so Brave is representing them. And so this is what they wrote to Brave. Because Brave should have been negotiating on their behalf, but guess what? They had a meeting, and Brave didn't even show up to the meeting. Let me say that for you again. They were negotiating an offer to pay this family what is due to them. All right? And they had a meeting set up. The family come to the meeting. The government and all their officials, everyone show up. But guess who ain't show up? Philip Brave Davis, the people lawyer. Why Brave Davis ain't show up? Anyway, let's look. So, further to my letter of 25th July, please be informed that the offer contained in my letter, I think that's what it says, in my letter of the 6th April 1989 remains unchanged. The government is unwilling to entertain any further treating on the matter. So in other words, any further agreement or negotiation, treating like treaty, any further agreement on it, they ain't talking to the people no more. Why? Brave ain't show up. Look, it says, I would urge you to accept the offer. So they made them an offer. Garbage offer. I think, I don't want to get this wrong, but I think they offered them like $80,000 for 1,000 acres of land. Beachfront, you know. Remember what they're trying to put on it now? They're trying to put a beachfront resort and a marina. Right? And Norman Reming caught up in this too because he used this for his dock. That's where his dock was. Remember where the shark was swimming around me? I told the story when I was in South Andres. That same dock where the Delma Isle used to dock. That's a part of where the property is. So it says, I was urged you to accept the offer. We were disappointed that you were unable to come to the meeting on today's date at 4 p.m. They put it right in. Brave didn't show up. They was disappointed that he was not able to come. That had been arranged at your request. So Brave Davis arranged a meeting and then he didn't show up to negotiate on the family's behalf. While some difficulty may have been encountered due to the last-minute schedule change, no such problem was communicated with this office. And representative from the Department of Local Government and the Office of Attorney General did attend. See, they put in writing to let you know. The Department of Local Government was there. The Attorney Office was there. And Brave didn't show up. I look forward to hearing from you. Yours faithfully, look who this is. Just so you know, fly by night. John Isaacs, counsel for the Attorney General's office. Know John Isaacs is? Reputable judge. His documents, signature. All right. So Lundy messing with these people property now, but Brave Davis himself was their lawyer. And he know they own the property. Otherwise, why would he be representing them? But of course, he helped to screw them over. This has happened to so many Bahamians in this country. And you'll always see three names: Christie, Ingram, and Davis. Anything going down. There's more. There's more. So let me pull up some more. So this was another letter to Norwood Ramming, reference to site number 6 in Montgomery Tract, in the eastern, in the state of Cornelius Road. Mr. Ramming, I call your attention to site number 6, that area of the dock in Camps Bay, which is the property of Cornelius, leased to the United States government. So this family leased that area to the U.S. government. Artec base. They lease it. And somehow it says years later, it was returned to the Bahamas government as for whatever reason. So they don't know how they was leasing it to the U.S. government, and somehow it was given to the Bahamas government. It says, a few years ago, you and I had conversation in regards to the said property. You stated that you were permitted to use the site temporarily. From temporary, you obtained a lease. I humbly request a copy of your document that permits you the right to continue to remain on the above mentioned property, site number 6. I do look forward to your favorable response on or before 20 days after you would have received this letter. Otherwise, I kindly ask that you vacate the said property until the matter has been transparently resolved with the government. I also ask that you refrain from any efforts such as using heavy equipment or any other work that may result in damaging this property. Yours faithfully, Minister Bursell Rule, South Andrews, and they copied the South Andrews Administrators, Senior Police in South Andrews, the Commissioner of Police, Land and Survey's Office, and the Prime Minister's Office. All right, so they copied the Prime Minister in this letter. All right, let's keep going. This is a letter from the Office of the Prime Minister to Mr. Bursell Rule, Camps Bay Andrews. I'm directed to acknowledge with thanks the receipt of your letter of October 11, 1999, addressed to the Right Honorable Prime Minister in respect of the above subject. Please be advised that the matter is continuing to receive attention. Please be also advised, Attorney Pericles Melis is fully aware of its status. All right? And so that's because Ingram show up with Pericles Melis to make these people an offer of nothing. Pericles Melis, you know, who got all the crown land out east that eventually out west, that they eventually sold to Albany. Was all that crown land out there. Ingham and them take our land, have their cronies find ways to find foreigners to come and buy the land for a lot of money. Pericles Melis is one of Ingram's people. Let's keep going. So these are documents that show that, you know, the executor and all of this stuff, you know. I'm going to show you that later. I'm going to get back to that. That's the back of something else. Just make sure I can get to the front of it. Now, let me tell you what this demonic man did. This Hubert Alexander Ingram. In the House of Assembly, when he realized that these people had this thing ironclad and he just wanted to take it from them, Hubert Ingram, Christy Ingram Davis, Hubert Ingram went in the House of Assembly on March 20th, 2012. This is the last thing he did. This is his last speech in the House. This is the last thing he did in 2012. Was try to disenfranchise a Bahamian family. This dealt with Posey in town, where he just took stuff to give to Leslie Miller. And Leslie always, but I'll get to him later. And then the Montgomery track. All right? Someone trying to call me, but I ain't opened the phone lines yet. All right? So, people telling me, some trolls on there. Y'all know how to handle them trolls. Because these are the evil, wicked crumb suckers that want to keep you in poverty while they beg for crumbs. They just love crumbs. They're the leeches that love crumbs, and they want to keep you poor so they could get some crumb contracts. While Bahamians, this happened to Bahamians. Y'all could handle them. So, speaking notes, regularization of occupants of government-owned land, Montgomery Tract, South Andres, right? Honorable Hubert Ingram, 20th of March, all right? And so, I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm just going to put it out there for you, unless you want me to read it. But this is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8, about 8 pages. I'm not going to read all that, all right? But this is where he tried to say, I think I should touch on some of it, all right? My government in each, you got to add this. My government in each of its terms of office has sought to economically empower Bahamians. One important means to that end is to facilitate ownership by Bahamians. Nonsense. Hence the tremendous efforts to put regularization at very preferential rates of 2, 3, 5, and 7 cents per square foot of the unauthorized occupation of Crown land and government-owned land by Bahamian citizens since 1992. Honorable members will be aware that the regularization of occupants of government-owned land at Montgomery Tract, Deep Creek, South Andres, is a long outstanding matter. See what he called it? Government-owned land. Now, you know the government own it. The occupation of government-owned land at Montgomery Tract in South Andres has presented a difficult case given the date of agreements to sell the land to its occupants, the age of the survey of the property, 1967, and the subsequent construction of a road to the properties, and the sale of certain parcels of the property to make possible the OTEC facility. I advise of the chronology of events impacting the Montgomery Tract land as follows. The Montgomery Tract originally comprised of 1,000 acres situated north of Deep Creek, South Andres. The land was originally granted to George Johnson. See if I can find page 2. Page 1. Nope. I'm sorry. These are in here mixed up. I am so sorry. Nope, wrong one. Sorry about that. Let's see if we get a page 2. That's not it. Lord. Okay, I'm sorry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to release these because they came into the software mixed up, and I don't have to be in here shuffling to find page 1, page 2, page 3, and all this kind of stuff, all right? So, but anyway, what Ingram did was he tried to lie and say that this was owned by the government. The people have all their papers and everything, and so what he did to intimidate them was he went in the House of Assembly to make a declaration that this government land. The House of Assembly can't do that. Now, government has eminent domain, They can take any land they want if they have a purpose for it, but they have to pay you. What he did was he went in there to make a resolution in the House of Assembly that, hey, this government land, that's not legal. But that was to intimidate the persons involved or any lawyers that might want to come to them and know that they could be blacklisted, et cetera, et cetera. He went and did a resolution, the last thing he did in 2012. It should have gone to the courts, and the courts should have determined who had the best title. But Ingram went and did that to intimidate these people, but they are still fighting to this day. Because what Ingram used our House of Assembly for, instead of empowering Bahamians, he used it to disenfranchise Bahamians. When it comes to Bahamians, Ingram is a sick, demented man who feels that anything is too much for Bahamians, that only Massa should benefit. But a new generation is here. A new generation who is ready to take this country into the promised land with our land. Let me say this to you publicly. For all of you Bahamians who have been disenfranchised by Hubert Ingram, Perry Christie, Brave Davis, and Minnis, we are going to empower you. We are going to set this right. I am saying this on the record that you can use against me later if I dare go against this word, and I will not. We will set this right. So we ain't getting no family disputes and all that kind of stuff. But where these evil governments have wronged you, we are going to make it right. Because you are Bahamian, and this is your land, and they were only managing the land. They don't own this land. This land is our land. And we're going to get this right. We're going to get this right. All right? So, I know dozens of people who have been going to this. So in the end, what Ingram is saying here, let me see it. Finally, Mr. David Roll, grandson of Cornelius. So they saying the grandson, not the son, who is still alive. The grandson. All right? So David Roll, the grandson of Cornelius and son of Cornelius' eldest son, Charles, agreed to accept $80,000 to settle all outstanding and related claims to the estate of Cornelius Roll. For the sum of $80,000, Cabinet gave approval for the settlement in December 2000 on the 6th of March 1991 by assenting conveyance. Wow. 14 acres was granted to David Roll, son of Charles Roll. The description and conveyance gives the location as the northeast section of the Montgomery Tract, now Ortec Site number 6. The check for $80,000 was collected on the night of March 2021 by Mr. David Roll and confirmed by deed of settlement and release dated March 8. The other individuals and families also resident on lots comprising the original Montgomery Tract have not had their occupation regularized in October 2011. Cabinet considered these outstanding matters and agreed to the sale of allotments and tenants occupants Montgomery Tract as follows. So what they did, what Ingram did, after saying all this government land, government crown land, whatever, they agreed to pay a family member who was not the heir, because the rightful heir was alive. They sold it to a brother of the heir. I think that's how it goes. And I got him to agree to take $80,000 to give all rights to their estate to the government. It's after all this, oh, this is the government land, is it? So if you felt this was government land, you wouldn't have paid them nothing. But you gave them chump change for all that. And that man who you gave the money to didn't have the rights. I've seen all the documents. And so now, Alfred Stewart, who's Alfred Stewart? Let's see. This is Alfred Stewart. Oh, they have the other man in it. Let's not use that one. Oh, they have a woman in it. All of them have someone in it. This is Alfred Stewart. Lundy people. Alfred Stewart. Lundy's man of business. Is all of a sudden able to acquire 4.8 acres of land. And what they're getting the land for, as I've shown you, let's see if we can put it up for them, is for a marina. Let's see if that's it on there. Another one. Purpose of this land. Is it up? Is it up? No. Come on. The purpose of this land is for a marina and a hotel resort. I'm trying to get it up here to show you, to make sure you see this with your own eyes if you didn't see it in the last one. Let me see. Okay, we just released this to you. All right. It's for a marina and a resort. Marina and a resort. And so it appears that it was given to, they have a foreign investor already working with them. They have a foreign investor already working with them who is going to end up getting this. And this is a big deal. And originally, there was someone who was supposed to be a part of this deal that they screwed, and he revealed what was happening. And now more people have come forward with documents. I have more documents. That's not it. We have a lot of documents. All right? And so I want to say to you, Lundy, stop it. The people at Lands and Survey, the workers, they're complaining. Stop it. There's no statute bar for what you are doing. The question is, what if we win? But the answer is, what happens when we win? All of you are going to give account to the Bahamian people. Take your hands off these Bahamian families. You know, they tell you to be against the white masses and all that for what they did, and all they did wrong. They did wrong. But the Queen gave land to Bahamians. I've seen it. And the king before her gave land to Bahamians. Thousands of acres in some instances. But our black leaders, not the UBP ain't even touch it. Our black leaders were the ones taking it from us, who felt that it's too much for us to have. So just like Lundy them is doing a deal now by the airport in South Andres, just like the airport in Eleuthera, there's an old lady who now lives in Yellow Elder. This woman has property worth $62 million. That's how much. They did a valuation of her property, some of it. It was worth $62 million, but this woman is broke and poor in Yellow Elder. the government would go and pluck pieces of her property. They would take the beachfront ones and just take it from her. Same Demon Ingram. But just take it from her. Yeah. See, $1,500. Take it or leave it. She had no one to go to, no one to turn to, no one willing to fight for her, no lawyers. So if they take 50 acres and say I must take 1,500, what you want me to do? You gotta stand up and fight. How I gonna fight? Who I gonna fight? Take them to court. They appoint the judges. And some Bahamians have lost their willingness to fight. But I understand. We got more to talk about, but I want to open the phone lines while we're here. Tell me what you think about all this. Tell me what you think about Keith Bell continuing his criminal rampage, I'll call it. What do you think about Keith Bell and his criminal rampage? Because I don't know how else to describe it. That's my opinion of what he's doing. And what do you think about Lundy and all this stuff? Now, this is just a shot over the bow because there's even more. If you have information about this Lundy thing and you want to call in, you're free to do so right now. If you are Lundy or any PLP who feels that what I'm saying is wrong or incorrect or I didn't say something right, you're free to call in, including you, Lundy. Hubert Ingram, you can call in too. So we got some words for you. But you can call in and you can state your piece. Anyone can call in at this time. All right. So call me, talk to me. What do you think about what you've heard today so far? 803-5995 is the number. It's right there. You got a WhatsApp call. All right. 803-5995. All right. 803-51995. I see someone saying Jermaine Coakley, call Lincoln now. Okay. Yeah. Call Jermaine Coakley. Yeah, Jermaine, 803-5995. 803-5995. Anyone can call. This is open. We always leave ourselves to be questioned by the people, and because we think that that's what all politicians should do. And so 803-5995. And so if he doesn't call, he's being a coward because his words are not correct. All right, but I'm sure he's going to call. All right, so 803-5995. The lines are open. We make sure this isn't on silent. 803-5995. I can't reach you. Why you can't reach? Come. Try again. Don't lie. 803-5995. Let's go. You can call now. WhatsApp call. All right. So let me put the phone in front of them so they can see if anyone is calling. WhatsApp call. I'm waiting. Here we go. There you go. Good afternoon. You're live. Good afternoon. You're live. Hello. How you doing?
Hi, I'm Lincoln.
Yes.
Great. Listen, that land that you're talking about in Andrews, you said Montgomery it's occupied by Ortec?
No, Montgomery Track. A part of it, they're saying was a part of the Ortec base. Well, Ortec.
Oh, okay. Well, it seems like the one that's in Fresh Creek has a similar scenario in that land was originally owned by Jeremiah Bowleg and his descendants.
Okay.
Jeremiah Bowleg and Ophelia Coakley. But what happened was, I don't know if I should say it on live, but
yeah, go ahead.
Bismarck Coakley was somebody who was somehow caught up in the transactions to get some funds from the government.
Right.
But he actually had absolutely no right to get anything from that land. So they gave him some money. I don't know if that's hush money or what have you. But since that happened, nothing has happened with regards to giving the Bowlegs any of their rightful funds for that land.
Wow.
So I was wondering if it seems like something similar happened at that Montgomery tract, but Ortec occupies the one in Fresh Creek as well.
Yes. A lot of this happened in the Bahamas, all over the Bahamas, wherever Ingram or Christie or one of them felt like they wanted to do something and Bahamians owned the land or had the land, they would just go and take it and tell them, take us to court. They would just go and take it. This happened all over the Bahamas. And so if they wanted to put the Artec base somewhere, they listen, okay, we'll just take it. Don't worry about these Bahamians. We'll just take it. Don't worry about them. They ain't used to nothing. And that's why he did the little $80,000 transaction. So they could say, well, you took it. You took $80,000. You're a fool, but you took it.
And you called another name, familiar name. You said Melis. He's also the lawyer who supposedly has been dealing with this for 50 years. Well, not 50 years, but a long time.
Yes. A lot of these land deals, you'll see Melis is behind a lot of it. Melis benefited from a lot of land, and a lot of land deals, you'll see his name called. All right. So many lawyers will even be afraid to call his name like I am doing right now. I don't understand what this fair is in our country, but we need to move forward, and we need to do what is right in this country. We need a shift.
So we probably, anyway, I'm trying to figure out if we were using the wrong lawyer all along. I don't know.
Who was your lawyer?
Melis.
Oh my God. I sorry to laugh. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because this seems to be the thing. The same, to me, this is my opinion. It's like letting the fox in the hen house. You saw the lawyer that these people had? Brave Davis. And that's who was helping them get screwed.
Yeah.
Now you see Melis. Melis is they send him in there to make sure things will be stalled. They know you can. If you ever try to kick up, they'll charge you these big lawyer fees and know you can't pay it. And they'll stall you and drag you on and give you hope over and over and over for a long time. Mom, change your lawyer and go back to the drawing board. And possess your land. That's one of the reasons they do what they do, because you didn't possess the land. Possession is 9/10 of law. Get with your family. Get your family together. Families across this country, listen to me. Stop fighting over land. Get together, share it up, and possess it. Pool your resources together and possess your land. That is how they're able to do what they are doing. Wake up, Bahamians, before it's too late. Thank you for your call, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. Good afternoon, you're live.
Mr. Bain.
There you are. Jermaine Coakley, how you doing?
Hey, man, I'm well. How are you?
Awesome.
Good. Listen, first, allow me to address certain things that are of great concerns to me. Now, I'm not going to say blatantly that you are telling untruths, but I will say that you've been misinformed. So let's start with the situation in South Andres with Mr. Leon Lundy and that tract of land which you did not produce any deeds for. Now, you showed the legal documentations that was set in motion by the claims of the land. You only have an affidavit, but you did not show the deed for that land. Now,
we have the deeds for the land. That's no issue. All right, now hold on. Are you speaking on behalf of Lundy?
I'm not speaking on behalf of no one.
Do you have any experience with dealing with this matter?
It does not matter. The fact I have the information that is to rebuttal what you're saying. Now let's start.
How would you have information?
I didn't ask you how you get your information to me. Let's stay on track.
Oh, I can tell you how I got mine. I got it from the family.
You got your information from Joshua Roll. I know you got it from
Joshua Roll. Continue. Say what you want to say.
Right. And on the other hand, like I said, first, before we go any further, when we're dealing with the tract of land near the airport, which the water tank and the school is still on until today's date, I need you, firstly, before you misinform the public, to produce the deeds for that. If you cannot produce the deeds on this live, then there's no need I go any further. That puts that to rest. Because you and I both know that all they have is an affidavit, and it was a handed down caretaking situation with that portion of land. Okay? Now let me go further. When it comes
hold on. Do you understand land law? And they do have the
I
deeds.
understand.
That they have sealed documents. They do have deeds. All right. But do you understand land law? Do you know that land law? Hold on.
You do.
Your rights to land and your title to land, no one has absolute title. Your title to land is not only from deeds or conveyances. So don't try to deceive the public. You can have different, hold on, stop. I'll let you talk, but you ask me a question. All right. You can have rights to land by your presence there. Even if you were there for a certain period of time, that can give you right to land. Even though you don't have a title, you can get a title to it from the court. All right. It's called adverse possession. This family was deeded that land by Montgomery. They had so much. Hold on, wait. They had so much title to the land that they were able to lease it to the U.S. government. Next, hold on. If they did not have title to the land, Ingham wouldn't have given them $80,000.
Let's pause, Mr. Bean. You're going off track. Let's stay on message here.
Yeah, let's stay on message.
So many deeds for the land, but you cannot produce one. I already told you that all they have was an affidavit for the land. Nothing else.
That is incorrect. That is incorrect. Let Lundy say that. Let Lundy say that. Tell Lundy to say that, not a political troll. Tell Lundy to say that. Listen, I didn't call your name on this live. I called Lundy's name. All right? I call Lundy's name. If Lundy wants to object, not a political troll, if Lundy, no one can hear you. If Lundy wants to object, then Lundy can call him now. You are a political PLP troll. You can call him and tell him to call in. No one can hear you, so, and I can't even hear you if you're talking now. Let Lundy call in and let him object, not a political troll. All right? So I'm going to let you speak now. Go ahead.
Mr. Bean, even though you that all of these documents in place, see, I am a little different. You can't just throw any document in front of me and expect me to buy into it. More than often, people make that tragic mistake of believing that when someone holds up a piece of document and interpret it to their interpretation and try to bring some clarity from their perspective, that it is factual.
Boss, we don't need theories right now. Do you have something to contribute that is directly from Lundy or directly from Alfred Stewart, or you want to theorize?
Let me finish speak to what you said first, please, sir. Let me finish this. Even though
okay, let's start here because you started from somewhere else. Let's start here. Alfred Stewart, who is the political crony of Leon Lundy, applies for Crown land. All right, gets a response in 3 days and gets granted it in 3 months. All right, question that. Let's start from the beginning. And gets granted it in 3 months for $200 an acre. All right? Let's start there. Are you saying that is not the situation? Go ahead.
Allow me, please. Please allow me.
Go ahead.
Please allow me. Okay? Firstly, let me highlight something for you. I have the facts. In the last 2 years of Mr. Lundy being in charge of Crown land in the Bahamas, for the first time in the Bahamas, land is being granted to Bahamians. 300.
Man, I talking about right now. I talking about the land. I talking about this specific land in South Andres. I ain't talking about land being granted to Bahamians because they are giving land to political cronies. As you can see here, that the evidence of it is here. They are giving land to political cronies. All right? So yeah, they're giving Crown land. And like the people at Crown land said, they are afraid that no Crown land will be left after this term in office. All right? They are concerned with that. If you have something to contribute, reference to what we're saying, I'm not here to talk about Lundy was giving Crown land to people and all this other. I'm not here to let you promote your party. All right? This is a situation that you are avoiding talking about. You are running from the fact that documents are presented that show that they applied with a company that didn't exist, that did not exist. Again, no one can hear you. They applied with a company that did not exist and were granted, even though the government didn't even have their papers, didn't know their official name, didn't have their memorandum and articles. They were granted this crown land in 3 months. Never in the history of this country. All right? I ain't even never see a property sale happen that fast. All right? To the political crony of Lundy, who is at Lands and Surveys. And his crony in 3 months get this. That's what I'm talking about. Why are you avoiding that? You are trying to duck the real issue by talking about deeds and all this other nonsense. Go ahead. Everyone can hear you.
So I guess you have control over the mic. You can speak. Now, number one, let's go back to the land. Since you want to steal a message, I already called you out on the land and reference to that tract of land where the school is. So we know that you...
No, you have not called me out.
You can't prove... You can't put...
Show me. Who are you saying owns the land?
The land is government land. The oldest brother was the take off the land.
Jesus.
What's the... Okay.
The land is not government land. The matter is before the courts. Hold on. The land is not government land. All right, let me help you understand something. No one, listen, I have to help you because you seem to be ignorant and you seem to be trying to be a political troll. When simply Lundy could call and he could straighten this out because we don't have Freedom of Information Act that I don't want you crying for. All right? No one has absolute title to land. All right? 2 people can have title to land and then the courts will decide who has the best title. All right? That is how land in the Bahamas works. And that's how they keep it. That's why they don't want a land registry. They keep it that way because they want to continue to do their skullduggery and take land from Bahamians. All right? So the government can have a claim to this, and the family can have a claim, and it's the court's duty, not the government duty, to say who owns the land. Because if the government had owned the land, they wouldn't have paid no money for that land. Don't be no fool. Your turn.
Mr. Bain. Would you allow me to respond, or are you going to keep on interrupting?
Yes, but if you're going to be putting out rhetoric, you have no information. You are talking rhetoric. Maybe you need to call Lundy first and then call me back. All right? Because I asked you again about this transaction. I asked you about this transaction where they were granted this crown land. And it is apparently a political crony of the man at Lands and Survey. But you seem to be avoiding that. And now the question is, there's a family who has a claim to that land and title to that land. And they produce documents. They threatened him with police action and with civil action. I don't see where he responding. Police action and with civil action. So, don't listen to whatever you listen to me on. If that's your phone or computer or whatever, or TV, don't listen on that. Listen in the phone you're talking on.
You're cutting me because you're taking advantage of the conversation. You're not allowed.
I'm not taking advantage of the conversation, but you're not participating in the conversation. You are trying to push rhetoric about Lundy was giving out crown land. That is irrelevant.
No, because I don't feed into those lies, Mr. Beans.
You don't feed into what lie? So is it true or not? So this umbrella corporation and Alfred Stewart applying for land and being made an offer in 3 months, is that a lie? Is that a lie?
You're deceptive, man. I'm listening on my next phone and you're deceptive because I can't hear.
Is that a lie or isn't it a lie? No, you're being deceptive because you refuse to answer that, and the whole country can hear why you're not answering that. You're trying to distract with something else.
Mr. Benny, you are the most deceptive, dishonest person. You don't qualify to be leader of this country. You
okay.
Have a conversation.
That's your opinion. I am asking you, and see, so your response to me is, oh, it's to start calling names. Whenever you're having a debate with someone and you're presenting facts and they start calling names, it's because they have no facts. All right? You are now calling names instead of addressing the real problem here. That a political crony, all right? A political crony, all I saw, just know that's his general, has been made an offer for the crown land. All right? There's a family that has a dispute with this land. We've shown all the documentation. They've asked this man to stop fooling with the land. All right? Okay. He's hung up. Let's go to the next call. I didn't hang him up. He hung up. Before I go to you call it, just hold the line. Listen. Political croonies have a job to do. All right? This man clearly could not challenge the documents about the Umbrella Corporation, Umbrella 242, the fact that the political crony got crown land in 3 months, that every Bahamian knows that that's almost impossible. You can't get them to respond to you that fast. And most 30,000 Bahamians never even got a response who applied for crown land. And that's the MP for that area. And on top of you getting that 4.8 acres for $200 an acre, there's a land dispute with that land where the people have their documents for that land. And they have a title and an interest in that land. So you see what he tried to do? Oh, there's a school there, and there's this there, and there's that there. Let's go to phone lines. Good evening. You're live.
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I am awesome, man.
This is one of your most ardent supporters.
Thank you, man.
I always message you. This is Johnson.
Thank you, man.
From dialysis.
Yes.
And I always listen to your shows, but I always tell you, as a leader, you are the leader. Your show is a show of information dropping. I have never, ever seen you, Lincoln, drop information without showing proof. I give you a little story, you and the nation. When I became, I was a troublesome little fella at BTC when in my first 30 years. Keith Archer, and to some extent Shane Gibson, they were the presidents of the union. When BTC brought a case against me, and we went to head office to deal with that case. The first thing we did, she said a little prayer. The seconding muggins what Shane Gibson did was ask management, what are the charges against my client? And if they was gobbling, you know what Shane Archer did? They got up and they said, when you get your stuff together, we left the room. Call us back. That those PLP trolls taking up too much time on your show with you dropping information and documents, running on with them. All you got to tell that man, when he ready, they can stop to convict you. Us call us more information and we want to talk to you. Not those trolls, they being paid for that. When they could produce their hard evidence like you, until then, hang up on them, man. Let them check you back later, okay?
Thank you, but no, I don't hang up on people. I let the Bahamian public hear them because they get to hear the attitude of the PLP and the trolls. I want them to hear this. I want them to see why they should be angry with the PLP, because not only are they raping and robbing them, they are defending their evil. They are sending their trolls to defend their evil. All right, I want the public to see that.
Mr. Bean, we done had 50 years of this. I believe I might be older than you. I might be little. We know what is out there on the ground. And until you came with the COI and your information dropping, we were left and right, the PLP and FNM looking for a way out. We now have that way out, Lincoln, and in a way, we can let them trolls put holes in our lifeboat.
Yeah.
COI.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You understand me?
Yeah.
And you, as a leader, don't allow them to do that.
No, man, they can't do that. And them talking can't do that.
They said no, Lincoln, to distract you. That's how dangerous. You see what you just say about the Honorable Philip Wave Davis, we can call him Honorable. He was representing some people. He was jamming. That's what these fellas dangerous thinking.
That's the letter we have on the screen now. So if what's his name? If what's his name? Jermaine Coakley feels that the people don't own the land, why was his prime minister, because he worships Philip Brave Davis, why would his prime minister represent them? I'm showing the letter that the government wrote to Philip Brave Davis telling them just take the offer. If the people didn't own the land, why would the government be making them an offer if they don't own it?
You can think exactly, and then you can buy some what you own.
Exactly.
Huh? That's what I trying to tell you, Lincoln. You have sensible folks like myself out here. We don't see them trolls the minute they ask you irrelevant questions, like what he was asking you. We don't know. That's one Lincoln need to catch on. I mean, don't stay on the phone too long with him.
All right, thanks for your call, bro, because other people trying to call in.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you, man. 803-5995. As you can see, the letter is up here, and this letter is from the Attorney General's office to Philip Brave Davis. All right, reference the Canadian role in Montgomery Tract and Andros. Further to my letter dated the 25th of July, 1989, please be informed that the offer contained in my letter of April 6, 1999 remains unchanged. So they made the family an offer. The government is unwilling to entertain any further entreaty. I would urge you to accept the offer. In a way, the government is going to spend our public money with someone who don't own the land. If any Joe Blow come to the government and say, listen, you want this land, I own this, no, the government can check. And if you don't own that land, they're not going to negotiate with you. That would be misappropriating of the people's money. And they offered these people the money. So, Troll, we're on to you. And we're on to Lundy. And we're on to Brave Davis. Caller, you live.
Mr. Ben.
How you doing?
Good day, my friend. How are you?
I'm right here, man.
Listen, let me say something to you, yeah? I'm so proud of you, bro. You hear me? From the bottom of my heart, I'm so proud of you, bro. Because let me tell you why I'm so proud of you. Because he take time out to come on your life where you are being watched. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
That's how powerful this is. Where you are being so watched. And the government knows that people are watching you and listening to you, and they have no facts. They can't do nothing about you. They sending them at you. That's what make me so proud of you, my brother. Another thing, you were in Andros when I was by your office.
Okay.
The gentleman who called in reference to the land, the property in the back by me that these Haitians are building on and the fence around.
Wow.
I was there to carry you there, right? But you was in there. You off the island.
Yeah.
Totally understand. You limit business.
I wish I could clone myself. I gotta be so many places. Everyone calling me to fight for them. The taxi drivers called me today. They were getting harassed today, but I had to be somewhere else.
Trying to get with you today. They was even trying to get with you today.
Yeah.
Anyway, sick to the point where I was saying, I went by lands and survey. I talked to a zonical fellow. I explained them what's going on. There's no infrastructure in the back there for these people to be building. Mm-hmm. There's no light poles. There's no water, etc. They put a fence across the road and they build it from ground in the road coming straight up. I given them an opportunity to correct the problem. I went to them 2 days ago. I told them what was going on. They can say they can send somebody and give them a week. Next week, if I ain't seen nothing done, Mr. Ben, I come in for you to carry you to show you exactly what's going on.
All right.
All right.
I'll be there.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, man.
Good work, my brother.
Thank you. All right. 803-5995 is the number. 803-5995. Trolls, y'all can call in. Call in, man. Call in. The troll call and said, put the deeds up. Call in. Any trolls? Y'all disappeared? Come on, man. Come on, trolls. It's your chance. We got 1,755 people on here watching live. Y'all can call in now, and y'all can state your piece. All right, let's go. Come on, trolls. I'm gonna say this to you again. Letter was written to Lundy. Here it is. It's a letter written, a cease and desist letter written to Lundy from last year. All right, about the tract of land. All right, telling them to get off and get lost, and that they're holding them to strict proof. The government don't have no right to this, no documents, nothing. But they've done this to so many families, but they don't expect families to be able to fight. They try to wear you out. Let the older members of your family die out, or find some crooked member of your family, one brother or something, who need money desperately, to make it look like they paid him and that they're bona fide purchasers because they paid him. But he didn't know he didn't have rights to it. This is the kind of tricks that they play on Bahamians. All right, and they told Lundy here, they're holding them to strict proof. And like I said, we got filing cabinets full of documents. You know, I throw short over the bow and wait for the official persons to respond. Political troll, go call Lundy and you tell him respond if he wants to see documents. All right? You tell him respond. Simple as that. All right? So that's it, and that's all. I want to say to the taxi drivers that called me today, because I'm busy. Everyone's got me fighting their battles, and I want to be there for everyone, but some people catch feelings because I can't answer their call. But I'm trying, to do as good best as I can. I have some people who cut me off because I couldn't get to them right away. But I can only do what I can do. I want to say to taxi drivers, if any police officer is doing anything to you that's wrong, you have every right. Whenever the police is approaching you all out there on Woods Rogers Wharf, on that part, take out your phone and record. Don't call me and tell me the police came to you and say such and such. I'm not entertaining that now. This is the 21st century. If the police is walking towards you, take out your phone and start recording video. Let him say the foolishness on video. They called me today and said, the police said that if we talk to any tourists today, we're licensed to solicit, but if we talk to any tourists today, they're going to lock us up. So they called me and said that. I said, did you record? No. And so I'm saying to you now, whenever police, that is foolishness that the police said. No one could tell anyone else who to talk to. All right, I could walk up to anyone else and say, good morning, good afternoon, would you like to buy this, whatever. I have a right to talk and the freedom of speech. So, and you are licensed to do what you're doing. When the police is approaching you, every one of you, listen to me. Take out your phone and record. Don't be shy. You have a right to do that. If you are another taxi driver or other vendor out there and you see the police approaching one of your comrades, you take out your phone and record. And you get as close as possible to make sure we can hear this unlawful order. Last week I was there and some police said he got instructions that the sidewalk was private property. The government sidewalk was private property, and they was told to lock up anyone. So they locked up a Mr. Hudson out there, injured his arm, carried him to the station, carried him to the hospital because they injured him, walk him up and down in the hospital for a couple hours. He got out. They held him till that night so that he couldn't make any more money that day, and then released him because they had nothing to charge him with because the sidewalk is not private property. Mr. Hudson, sue. Please, you are rich. So guys, please follow my instructions because they're going to deny that they said this stuff to you. Just pull out your phones and record. Now, I'm not entertaining anyone who is being rude to tourists, who is harassing the tourists in any negative way or doing anything negative. All right. We still need persons to be able to come over and enjoy their vacation. We don't want to offering them no drugs, no dope, no coke, no nothing. If you're offering them a ride, a tour, or whatever, do so. But let's do it in decency and in order. And if you're doing it in decency and order, I will fight for you from now until eternity. I will cross the burning sands with you. I will walk through hellfire with you because you are my Bahamian brothers and sisters. A new Bahamas is coming where you won't have to worry about this harassment anymore. You're going to have a government that fights for you. All right? 803-5995. 803-5995 is the number. So you can call in. Still taking calls. We got a few more minutes. We got 2 hours. Right. Good afternoon. You're live.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Bain. Good evening, Mr. Bain.
How you doing?
I am great, thank you. I am great, thank you. This is...
Don't listen to whatever you're watching on. Listen to the phone you're talking to me on. Because there's a delay.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, for the record, my name is Mark Roll. I am the grandson of Canadian Roll.
Okay. So the people in this letter, you're their grandson.
Pardon me?
So the letter and all this that we're talking about, you're the grandson.
Yes, I am the grandson of the caretaker who received the deeds from E.S. Montgomery.
Oh, wow.
And of course, yes.
Okay, so tell us, because I heard, a PRP troll, was, I guess, told to call in and cause disruption and say that y'all don't own the property and this kind of stuff. He said, I got my information from Joshua Roll.
Well,
I'm not even sure who Joshua Roll is. But, yeah. Go ahead.
First of all, just let me clear the record. Pastor Joshua Roll, who is my brother in South Andres.
Okay. Yes. I know who Joshua Roll is.
Yes. Someone, I don't know if it's Mr. Coakley, but someone said that he gave you information about what you are expressing tonight. I just want to clear the record that Joshua Roll, Pastor Joshua Roll, had no affiliation with any information to Mr. Lincoln Bain.
He never gave me any information. No, he didn't.
He never gave you no information.
Yeah, but so trolls are paid to lie. So that's what Jermaine Coakley was doing.
Right. As it relates to the property, the 14 acres where the Artex site was, the government received millions of dollars for that property of lease to from the American government.
Yes.
Or whomever. I was told later that it wasn't the American government, but we can deal with that. However, the roads was not compensated for any damages to that property.
Wow.
Mr. Ingram took advantage of our uncle, David Roll. He is not the grandson of Cornelius Roll. He is the son of Cornelius Roll. So that information that was written to the House of Assembly, that is false.
Wow.
Okay? That is false. I am the grandson. I have the information. That property, if those persons want to know, it was from Harry B. Sands' time, way back. I don't have the information in front of me, many years ago, that it was agreed that Cornelius Roll purchased that 14 acres and he was entitled to that.
Yes.
Like you said, Mr. Bain, if the Rolls family was not entitled to that land, Mr. Ingram would not have purchased the land. That's elementary. Anyone can figure that one.
Yeah.
Okay. In recent time, Mr. Lundy, I don't want to go into depth because the one thing what the Rolls family do not want to do is to fight the government. We will not. I am the eldest son. We will not fight the government. What we want to do is we want fair justice. We want fair justice. Some may say, "What you cannot take your land or possess your land unless you fight the government." That is not the intention. We want Mr. Lundy to meet with us or whomever in the government to see how we can resolve the problem. But we do not want everyone coming in, taking the best of the Rose family and leaving us behind with nothing or putting us in the back of the line and using the government to deal with these matters. Okay? This is wrong, and we want all of this to stop. Not only to us, but all of those persons who are being taken advantage of. But the point is that 14 acres that the OTEC was on, that Mr. Lundy is seeking, or whoever is seeking 4-something acres, the settlement has not been with the roads taken care of as yet. And we don't want persons taking the land to which can be retracted later on when it go before the court. We would like for persons to sit with us. Pastor Joshua, for the record, is in South Andrews. This is Mark Kroll. I am in Nassau. I am the eldest son, and he gives me updates as to what happened in Andrews, as to what he should be doing.
Yes.
Because I am not there. But I don't want to go any further. The matter is still before the courts, and we are trying to wrap up some information, some more requirements that is required for us so that we can proceed.
Yeah, don't say what it is, though.
Pardon me?
Yeah, you don't have to say what it is.
No, I'm not going to say that right now. I'm not going to say that. But for the record, and all those persons who are on this chat tonight, the roads are entitled. We have deeds. We have everything with the 14 acres and the 1,000 acres of the Montgomery Tract. This is written. This is sealed. This is facts. And there's a lot of information that persons need to be aware of.
I've seen your deeds with the actual seals and signatures and everything.
Okay, very good. So I just wanted to stop right there, but I just wanted persons to know that, yes, it has been taking us a while. Yes, we could have, the approach when my father was alive could have been different to move further with this situation. However, the third generation is on it, and we just want to bring this to fruition.
I just want to say to you that every dollar that the government collected for the OTEC base, I see calls coming through. I'll accept those calls in a second. Every dollar they collected should go to y'all. I think it was $12 million a year. That's y'all money.
Yes, sir. So I am going to stop at this point. I know there are more calls coming in, but I just, for the record purpose and those persons who are not aware, we have the facts, and we are just ready to clear up some other information before we move further. So thank you very much, Mr. Bain, for allowing me to put a little
all right
sense to this man.
Thank you too. All right.
All right.
Good afternoon. You're live.
Mr. Ben, how you doing?
I'm awesome. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I guess call it where you get your information from. That's what I really wanted to know.
Say again?
Because where you get your information from with the land and all of that stuff.
Different places, including the family members.
I know Alfred is my cousin as well too, right?
Awesome.
He might be your family. I don't know. So with this land, what we're talking about with Alfred, this land was offered to him as the lease, but what happened is that Alfred didn't want the lease. He wanted a grant. He wanted the land and he wanted the money is. So, he ended up getting sour and all that kind of stuff and now giving you this information. But what I'm saying to you.
You saying Alfred gave me this information?
Well, part of it, not everything, because I watched it. I noticed what Alfred showed me. You know, but the end of the day,
Alfred didn't give me any information.
yeah, but the end
I've
of the day,
never
right?
spoken to him unless I spoke to him and didn't know who he is, but I've never spoken to Alfred.
Yeah, that's the information right now. What you have is what Alfred
of course he'll have it because this is
sour.
information. He was doing it on behalf of Lundy.
Yeah, so the end of the day, listen now.
So did Alfred tell you he was doing it on behalf of Lundy?
Well, I mean, let me finish it, then I'll answer you. But at the end of the day, I'm saying to you that if Alfred was given the grant, then I believe some things would have gone sour. But at the end of the day, Mr. Lundy did never ever hand these the papers over to him and did any crookery with our land, Bahamian land. He was doing what he was set to do, to give land in terms of to whoever Bahamian wanted, and then the terms agreement.
Hold on, give me 1 sec. Let me just ask you something quick. Have you ever applied for Crown land?
Yeah, man.
Okay, awesome. Did you get granted Crown land or offered a lease in 3 months?
I get, because
don't cost me hang up on you. I don't hang up on people.
No, listen.
No Bahamian.
I did under the F&M. I can call names. I telling you, I did. I have a piece of land right now. I got less than three months under the F&M. I'm not gonna call any names, but if you want to speak more, we can.
Yeah,
talk
you will
about
make it seem like the F&M was doing the same thing the PLP doing. I know that's normally what they say.
The F&M granted it. What I'm saying to you, the land what we are discussing now, nothing went forward to say you could speak on these things or follow Mr. Lundy names and all that stuff because nothing no agreement was made. That's what I'm
There's a letter from the government making an offer to Alfred Stewart within 3 months of him applying under a company that didn't exist when they made the application. All right? To get offered land in 3 months. Listen, Bahamians on this watching this, and 30,000 Bahamians applied, so they know the truth.
That's what Mark said, did it went through.
You mean, did Lundy make the final payment?
Whatever, did it went through?
It is before the courts now.
Oh, man.
All right? And they are still trying to do stuff on the property. And that is why they are writing to Lundy to tell him to stop fooling with his property. Stop telling people that you're going to be giving people this property. Leave this alone. You know that this is a legal matter. Leave this alone.
Everything is on the urge of well, the end of the day, it's not going through.
You're saying it's not going to go through in the end?
No, but it never was going through because, like I said, the agreement was.
He wanted an outright grant. Listen, what he got was a grant, and technically, it's just that's the grant that's the grant where you get a lease first, and then after that you pay for it, and the purchase price was $4,000 per acre. Ridiculous. So that is a grant. All right.
But I don't want the Bahamian people to look as Mr. Lundy now. I'm saying I don't want the Bahamian.
Are you calling here trying to protect Lundy? I believe you was one of Lundy generals too.
No. Listen to me.
You calling trying to protect Lundy?
Lundy, listen.
You know Lundy is a big fella. He can protect himself. You know that, right?
Yeah, he could. I'm not.
Lundy watching this right now.
On the basis,
Lundy is watching right now.
He's not in country. He's not in country.
My brother.
But the end of the thing.
People in Russia watching this right now. I can see the IP of people watching this. People in China watching this. Now, they may be Bahamians in China. People in Dubai watching this.
To come clear. I want the facts to remain and come clear so that me, who are on the side.
No, but you try to speak for Lundy. Say Lundy ain't watching this. See how the country.
It's a team that I can go after, but I can't go after the team and the COI if these things are happening with false report and things not finalize it. And,
my brother,
if this,
my brother,
if this is the thing you,
my brother.
if you saying this how you want you should have let it go through and then hit it. And that's how
my brother.
we
One thing you know I don't do is make false reports. I've been doing this for over 20 years. No one has ever been able to challenge anything that I have said. There is there when your crony is offered land, all right? In the end, it cannot go through because the family challenging it. All right? He can't get the land. Not because of nothing you said about the grant, because there is a grant. It's just a lease, a lease to buy. So I let you talk. I gave you your freedom to talk. And so it was good talking to you. I know Lundy probably told you to call, but have a nice night, all right?
No, that's it. Yeah, well, thank you.
All right. But, listen, these coonies think that they slick. They think they slick. But that's probably Lundy told him to call. Remember when I did the show on what the other MP name? I don't remember his name now. The pastor of Pilgrim, where they had the import export business in the back of his yard, where coal was being sent out of this country. Coal, yes, the coal. Yeah, the people was cutting down the trees and making coal. It was being exported to Haiti, amongst other stuff. And one of his cronies was sent to call, but that crony messed it up for him by giving more information than he should have. All right, so that's really how it is, ladies and gentlemen. Someone says $4,000 an acre. Yeah. That's what he would have paid. Let me see if we could go back some and make sure we could pull this up for you. Is that the one? No, that's where he had 90 days to purchase this. I mean, all these people calling for Lundy. Like, Lundy can't talk for himself. Lundy is quite capable of speaking for himself. Lundy is a very intelligent man who used to have sense, and then he joined the PLP, which means that he lost it. All right. Let me see where it is. Yeah, where is it? Looking for the numbers. Okay, here it is. Number O right here. You see, it says CDE, not OE. E. It looks like an O. The leasee will be given the option to purchase the lease area at any time during the term of the lease if the leasee has beneficially occupied the entire lease area and established thereupon permanent improvements to the value of at least 1.5 million, comprising a permanent building. So just put a building up, improvement to the value of 1 million, as well as other beneficial occupation valued at 500,000 or more. Because you say you're building a hotel, all right, and you're building a marina. It says the purchase price will be $4,000 per acre. See there? 4,000 per acre of beach. If y'all see this beach, this is, beautiful. This is a beautiful beach. So he get a lease for 3 years of $200 while he get his affairs together. $200 an acre for 3 years. That gives you time to put some stuff there, make improvements and all that. And then at the end of it, he will be able to buy it for just $4,000 per acre. So this fella calling, Lundy must tell him calling and say, no, he wanted a grant and this and that. And it's foolishness. That is a grant. All right? Because when people get regular leases, it just says what the lease is. It ain't telling you that you could buy it at any time or any of that stuff. All right? It just gives you exactly what the information is. All right? So these people are shameless. 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 Let me see here. So I can take a couple more calls. 803-5995, 803-5999. Let me see this code. Okay. know y'all could probably handle this. Let me see. I'm trying to for y'all so y'all could kind of see the this long stretch of beach. Let me just I'm trying to identify exactly. Okay. You should have sound now. Let's see if you have sound now. Let's see how this works. Let's see how this works. All right. Let's see if this works. All right. Okay. Sound now? Yep. Okay. They got it. They got sound. Awesome. All right. So good. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was just showing you all Camps Bay. So you could see it, but you couldn't hear me. Let me just see if you can see it again. Let's experiment and see if we can get it back up. I just wanted you to see Camps Bay. So hopefully the sound will be up again this time. All right. So line I can't take calls now because the phone I was doing the calls on. Is what I'm using for you to be able to get sound now. This is Camps Bay, and look at that. That's Beach, 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 beach. All right? Beach, beach, beach. These fellas are just trying to take everything. Look at that. Look at this. This thick white sandy beach right here. Look at that. Look at this, man. Camps Bay Complex. Calvary Baptist Church. Look at all this, man. Okay, that's up here in the bluff now. Nice. They are trying to take everything from us. All right? They can see this from space. And this is deep tongue of the ocean right here. And this is nice, beautiful turquoise blue water right here. All right? And they're trying to take everything from us. We got to stand up and fight, Bahamas. We got to stand up and fight. All right? We got to stand up and fight. All right? I see Jermaine Coakley is back texting, saying that we brainwashing the people with lies. Listen, man, I don't know what to say about, paid trolls. Listen, these are paid political trolls. You know their agenda. What else do I have to say? All right, so we did more than an hour today. I have one agenda, and that is to put Bahamians first in this country. That is to put Bahamians first. I don't know why that's a problem for political trolls. Like, they don't want Bahamians to have anything. But we are going to have what is ours. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. We are going to get our crown land. We're going to get our crown land. Andros has millions of acres. Just barren. Let's look at it one more time. I'm sorry to have to show you this again, but I just want you to see our land that is sitting there barren and they're not doing anything with it. Look at this one more time. One more time. All right? While they fight for politicians, I'm fighting for you. All right? Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that, man. Look at this. But look at how much undeveloped land. All of this is undeveloped land. Look at it. Look at it. Look at all that land just sitting there waiting to be developed. Look at all the fish farming we could do in these areas. This is an archipelago. Andros is an archipelago. See how much islands are here? Look at all this land. Look at it. Some of this is reserve. And all of the reserves we can actually be getting carbon credits for. There's mangroves, there's forests, all of this, and we're not making a dollar for it right now. Come on, Bahamas. Look at all these archipelagos. There's so much we could be doing. There's so much. We could grow the sea cucumbers in here if we want to. We could farm fish in here, be the #1 farmer of fish in the world. Look at this, man. Look at it. Look at all the aragonite. Yes, that is. See the aragonite? See the color change? Look at this. My Lord, look at this. Pure, unadulterated, untouched, virgin aragonite. Look at it. Ready for us to benefit from. Easily accessible. Look at all this land that they're doing nothing with. Look at it. They have not developed the Bahamas. Our growth has been stunted. Our growth has been stunted. Some people had a problem with some stuff that some missionaries said when they came here. But I want you to hear what these missionaries had to say.
I went to the Bahamas. I went to the Bahamas. I went to the Bahamas, and it's not what you think. It's not what you think. I would tell people, "Oh, I'm going on a mission trip to the Bahamas," and I would just get a look that kind of said, "Oh, you're going to the Bahamas." So I was not aware of what it would look like coming onto the island, but instantly after landing, you could just tell that a lot of it was untouched. There was a lot of things that were not finished. So I knew that there was a reason we were there and that they needed us for sure.
I would say Eleuthera is different from the other vacation islands in the Bahamas because really when we were there we didn't see many tourists at all.
It wasn't really what I was expecting because it was so different than Nassau. There were no hotels, no tall buildings. It was just like, I went to the Bahamas.
I went to the Bahamas.
I went to the Bahamas, and it's not what you think.
It's not what you think.
I would tell people, "Oh, I'm going on a mission trip to the Bahamas," and I would just get a look that kind of said, oh, you're going to the Bahamas. So I was not aware of what it would look like coming onto the island, but instantly after landing, you could just tell that a lot of it was untouched. There was a lot of things that were not finished. So I knew that there was a reason we were there and that they needed us for sure.
I would say Eleuthera is different from the other vacation islands in the Bahamas because really when we were there we didn't see many tourists at all.
It wasn't really what I was expecting because it was so different than Nassau. There were no hotels, no tall buildings. It was just like a flat island.
So in other words, it's not developed. It wasn't much to see, just a bunch of bush. You know, the beach is nice, but it's just a bunch of bush. There's nothing to do. So notice most of them talking with young people. And young people want something to do. They want some entertainment. They don't just want to come sit down under a tree or sit down and rock in a hammock. We need to do something. And it's our time, Bahamas. Our politicians are stuck in a slavery mindset. You know, I study a lot. And I showed you the other day, you know, I was reading Das Kapital by Karl Marx, and I was reading James Smith's The Wealth of Nations. The Wealth of Nations was the book that created capitalism in the 1700s. That was the book that caused the end of slavery. They didn't end slavery because it was the right thing to do or it was morally right to do. They end slavery because they realized that why should we be feeding and housing these people when they could become customers? Watch this.
1776, 141 The Strand, London. These are the offices and shop of Strain and Cadell, publishers who have a big success with a new book, An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations, written by a Scottish philosopher called Adam Smith. Smith demystifies wealth creation by explaining how capitalist economies grow. He reaches several important conclusions. Slavery is remarkably inefficient. Violence is less of an incentive than money for a worker, and the cost of buying and maintaining slaves far exceeds the cost of wages. Capitalists will make far more money by treating their workers legally and humanely. It's by specializing that economies grow, says Smith.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, I've come to free the slaves in the Bahamas. That's my mission. For us to benefit from our country. It's time for a change. Philip Brave Davis has made it clear that he does not want to give us anything. He's made it clear that we're not going to benefit. He made an excuse because now the word is out that our natural resources are worth something, but they don't want to give it to us. I want you to hear and remember the words of Philip Brave Davis.
So the test that when they were speaking about seagrass, I think our country was commended for the preservation of sharks and turtles whilst at the Oceans Conference. Now, insofar as where the fund's going to go, it's going to go for the benefit of the Bahamian people. Firstly, it'll either go into a sovereign wealth fund or a special purpose vehicle. That's where all of this will be held. And then from there, the disbursements will be made. And it'll be transparent and accountable as always. And as I said initially in...
Did that man just say transparent and accountable as always? When? And he said it's either going to go to the sovereign wealth fund or a special purpose vehicle. You know what that means? That means whoever he wants, wherever he wants. That means they could take this money.
My introduction of the second reading, it is intended firstly to use those funds to ensure that we adapt. We use it for adaptation and mitigation to ensure that we preserve our islands for future generations. And this time to lay the heads of agreement, which I said I would.
What did the document be brought up?
And Madam Speaker.
Anyone understand anything this man said yet? He's talking around in circles, stumbling. I mean, he's just telling y'all ain't getting nothing. We taking this off. We taking this, the natural resources, the carbon credits money, and y'all ain't getting nothing. And I told y'all this before election. Now you're seeing it.
What did the document do lie on the table?
There are still a lot of work to do to get where we would wish to get, because I highlighted one of the concerns that I have, and we all should have, and that is once we start trading in and people and corporations, for example, begin to invest in our carbon market, we now understand more clearly the voluntary market, and that's why we are entering into that, because that is shaping up more quickly than the other market. And by
he is talking about the voluntary market because that's like a cowboy town, and that's where they could steal all the money. The other market, there's oversight, and that's why he doesn't want to go in the compulsory market. All right, because that has oversight, where governments and companies have to agree to certain regulations, etc. That's more like being in the stock market. All right. Where you have cap and trade and you have certain strict regulations. He doesn't want that because they want to just take this money and steal it.
By COP27, we may understand where they want to go with that. But suffice it to say that we are now dealing with the blue carbon, which is the seagrass. We spoke about the mangroves and the pond. We understand that they're also carbon sinks, but we have not reached there yet. And it may be other entities that may wish to engage us in looking at that aspect for monetization. They have spent and invested their own funds in the discovery, millions of dollars. So we'd have taken that into account when we decided how we would move ahead. Millions more is required for the continuing of the mapping and verification, which they are prepared to continue.
So there's mapping and verification. They let a company come in and spend a few $1 million so that the company can get a bunch of our carbon credit and get access and control. Look under the table, Bahamas. Not what's on the table. Look under the table for what's really going on.
And so it didn't seem appropriate to disrupt that exercise, which may have thrown us back just thrown us back. How far back, I don't know. But it seemed more prudent for us to continue on the path that they were going. It's just that what they had wished to do, we were not prepared to do. And that is cede ownership.
Yes.
We kept ownership. We kept the bulk of the ownership of the assets, 85% of it. And we even went further. That in the management company, we thought that we should get some of that too.
I thought you kept 100% of the ownership of the asset, but about 85% of the revenue from the asset.
Well, 100, that's correct. Yeah. That's correct. It's the management.
The man don't even know what he's talking about. He lies so much, he's lost in his lies.
Yeah, it's the management. But at the end of the day, it works out when you monetize it. The monetization is Ownership, 100%, yes, Bahamian. But monetization of that 100%, 85% would be for us, plus an additional 49% of that management. Right now, so far.
The man don't know what he is saying. Let me tell you something, Philip Brave Davis. That's crabbing credits. Before election, you all said I was selling dreams. You couldn't make nothing from it. Now it's worth billions. But you all ain't letting us have none of it. Bahamians, if you let them fool you all, it's on you. I did my part. If their only excuse is why you shouldn't support what we're saying is because they say I'm a bad person, you shouldn't listen to me, I'm evil, I'm no good. If that's it, you want to listen to them? The people who have been lying to you are still lying to you, then go right ahead. But I have one agenda. I want me and my family, my children and my children's children to benefit from our carbon credit. I'm going to fight for that. And by extension, I'm going to be fighting for you too. Every Bahamian needs to come together and join me to fight for what belongs to us. Don't be distracted by trolls. They're going to put out a new lie every week. We don't have time for that. Another video, he talks about the $156 billion. Listen, man, we hanging out tonight. Let me just play. This is the last video I'm going to play. Someone else did this video. I didn't do this video. I just grabbed it and I thought it was interesting. It's another video. He's saying some of the same things.
Exploitation, if I call it that, of our natural resources is just another form of creating revenue to assist the government in its business. And hopefully we'll get surplus. We have, for example, our ongoing expenses to meet the obligations of government business, providing the services that's necessary for our people. It's in excess of $3 billion a year. And hopefully when we do have...
So the carbon credits is new money. They saying this voluntary thing that they're going to do is going to be worth $9 billion, right? And they're lying, it's worth way more than that, right? But $9 billion. So the government's expenses, all of it is $3 billion. Isn't that automatically a surplus right there? Isn't that a surplus right there? But guess what? They don't want you to have nothing.
Surpluses. All Bahamian citizens will be benefiting by perhaps paying lower taxes, by perhaps ensuring that each of their children, each of our children, have proper access to healthcare, education.
So how y'all gonna benefit? Y'all may get lower taxes. Y'all may get, your children may get good healthcare. So what are the taxes for? Isn't that what y'all were supposed to be providing all this time? Weren't y'all supposed to be lowering taxes all this time? Weren't we supposed to get education and healthcare from the taxes? What was the VAT for?
Free of charge, for example. Those are some of the decisions that have to be made. Eventually, we may have a sovereign wealth fund. But what we have done is we set up a mechanism of funding to ensure that we can invest assets for return to again create further revenue streams to help us pay the country's bills. It will be many years before you could arrive to that position. It's designed to assist the country in meeting its obligations to its citizenry. It does not necessarily mean that you get a dividend from a sovereign wealth fund.
We pay VAT and it get raised sooner or later. I import things from the States and I pay VAT on top of customs. Anyone who imports knows that. Everybody's complaining that there's too much red tape to get anything from the government. I have farmer friends. I was talking to another farmer friend yesterday. Was telling me how much red tape they want 3 years of paperwork from him. For him to get 50 grand from the government to build it on his farm to feed us. They will give you food vouchers. People who've been working all their life making money, proud beings, give you a food voucher to go to the store, man. That's our money. We pay the taxes just give the people the money. Oh, we gotta worry money. Only black people worry about wow, black people spend money. Only in our country, in countries like ours, the government say, oh, they go waste the money. Man, get the people to flipping money in the States. Listen to me. The Jones will get $1,200. The coke addict. And the idea is if the coke addict spend the money on the coke dealer can spend the money on a car, and the car dealership can make money, and the car dealership owners and workers can feed their families. It's our money, give it to us. I ain't come here for this morning. I didn't come here for this morning.
I'm going to leave that there for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for tuning in. We went over time tonight, but please share this live. Take clips from it, share it around. You have a duty to make this happen. It's going to happen if you make this happen. Make sure you get the information out there so that the Bahamian people can see the skullduggery that is going on. And it's happening all across the PLP government right now. All right. Remember, Keith Bell is still up to no good. And Leon Lundy, you see what's going on there. And all of this is our suspicion of their actions. And so we need our Freedom of Information Act so that we can exactly know what's going on in this country, and that we can hold their feet to the fire. Until we get that, we're going to be in problems in this country. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. We're going to go live again on Sunday with more. All right. We'll wait to see what Keith Bell and them response is. They know if I have that what I had, I got more. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned in and stay prayed up. The new Bahamas is coming. If you make it happen, talk to your friends, talk to your family. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you with our song. It's a song that we've come to know and love. We don't really play it because sometimes when we play it, they pull the live down. Our last live was pulled from Facebook. If this one is pulled, we'll release more documents. We had to take that down. So, I'm going to leave you with our song. And leave you with our song. Oh, Lord, where is it? There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, slavery days are over.
I'm gonna be free or die.
It's time to escape. My name is Lincoln Bain, and I'm a runaway slave. And if you come with me, we can all run away together and build a new city, a new nation, a new land, with island state, where their money stay at home on their island, and they pay a royalty to the central government, where the people govern themselves. It's time for change, Bahamas. Stand with me, and let's make this happen. The whole Bahamas isn't working out for us Bahamians. They treat us like criminals. It's a crime to be a Bahamian in the whole Bahamas. Anything that can benefit Bahamians, they take away from us. No more. I could feel it in my bones.
You have made it 100 miles to freedom. Would you like to pick a new name to mark your freedom?
Paradigm.
Early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, we're gonna start moving towards that separating line. I'm wading through muddy waters. You know I gotta make run. And I fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, you hear freedom calling.
Time to change, Bahamas. I'm not interested in arguing about whether it was a roof or a trust. All I know is I don't trust Philip Brave Davis and the PLP. So it is a matter of trust. It's about the trust, not the roof. Time for New Bahamas. Let's cross that Jordan River together and let's enter the promised land. They think we're not good enough to pay us for the land that belongs to us. They stole the flag from Bahamian and refused to pay him what it is because what's he gonna do with that money? He doesn't deserve that, but he's a Bahamian. But we are the new Bahamians. We are slaves no more. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lincoln Bain. I'm a runaway slave. Will you join me in the New Bahamas? It's time to stand up and fight for what is ours. It's time to stand up and fight for our generation, for the next generation, and the generation after them. It's time to stand up and fight to honor our parents who didn't know what we know, who have died and gone, and they don't know what we now know. Let's do this for Grammy, who died in the hospital because there was no bed, who died because the cookout didn't make enough money. Let's do this for every single Bahamian, those who couldn't pay for an education to live their best life. Let's do this for us, y'all. Slavery is over. It's time for the New Bahamas. See you next time.